And welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Seattle. The halftime score, Eastside Catholic 35, Meadowdale 0. This is normally when we bring you our Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show. However, in order to give you better coverage, we needed to reboot our computer at halftime and cut some of the buffering out that was taking place in the second half. In doing so, we shut down momentarily, but we are now back as both of these two teams are just about ready to play one more time. 35 points in the first half by Eastside Catholic. A team that has just looked every bit of the number 2 ranking that they've had all season long here in the first half. 5 touchdowns. They're doing it in different ways. 3 touchdown passes. Harley Kirsch, the quarterback, every good as advertised, as he's thrown 3 passes, 2 of which to Matt Laris. The other one coming in the first quarter to number 88, Hunter Bryant. And then Brandon Wellington, the running back, who, as we mentioned, had only had 8 carries all season long coming into tonight, mainly because they were just trying to not platoon players and needed him more as a defensive player than they have on offense. He's stepping in tonight, though, in place of number 8, Addison Hull, the running back who is out with a concussion. And Wellington has had 2 touchdown runs already as well. We mentioned earlier we do not have any stats tonight. Running on a bit of a skeleton crew, and really no stats are needed. Everything you need to know is taking place up on the scoreboard, and it's all orange. It's all Eastside Catholic with 35 points in the first half to the 0 of Meadowdale. Still trying to work on getting you some scores as we move forward. The last score we had out of the Lincoln Bowl, Lincoln ahead of O'Dea 21-7. We keep bringing that up because the winner of this game here tonight will play the winner of that game next week in the quarterfinals of the state. Another game between 2 ranked teams. O'Dea currently ranked 3rd, Lincoln ranked 6th. Very interesting in the way in which these teams are matched up. We are in the round of 16. And yet on one side of the bracket, the 4 teams that are playing to try to get to the semifinals are all ranked 2, 3, 6, and 7 in the state. So 4 of the top 7 teams in the state have to go through each other for only 1 spot into the semifinals. And so far, based on what we're seeing here and what we're hearing out of Tacoma, Eastside Catholic and Lincoln are currently on a crash course to play next week. Certainly Eastside Catholic looking like they are going to punch their ticket tonight and move on to the next round. I've not heard any other scores yet this evening, as we mentioned Mount Lake Terrace and Marysville-Pilchuck playing up at Quilceda Stadium. The last score we had from that game was 35-7. Marysville-Pilchuck in the lead. And really no surprise there for a lot of folks. Clock now showing 35 seconds to go here before we resume play. Meadowdale bringing their kick return team onto the field right now. Malik Braxton lined up to take the kick one more time. We remind you there is a mercy rule in football here in the state of Washington. In the second half, if one team takes a 40-point or more lead at any point in the second half, we will play with a running clock for the remainder of the game at that point. What that means is that normally when a clock would stop, whether it be to move chains on a first down or an incomplete pass or a play in which a player goes out of bounds, rather than stop the clock continues to run. With the theory being that rather than have one team continue to dominate another and rack up even more points to make the game look that much worse, you speed the game along, hoping to get the players out a little bit quicker and also keeping the score down to a somewhat of a minimum at that point, if you will. As Braxton fields that ball at the 15-yard line, looking for space along the left, cuts it into the open, cuts it back towards the middle, and he's got some room to the 40, past midfield. Braxton still on his feet and finally out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Giving the Meadowdale fans something to cheer about. Braxton with a 57-yard return. And Meadowdale with their best field position of the night. 13 seconds into the half. All season long, really over his career. Malik Braxton, he is special. When he gets out into the open and he's able to use that speed, he can make things happen. And Meadowdale needed a spark coming out of the locker room, and they got it. As Meadowdale going to a 4-receiver set, Braxton and Spillum both line up along the right. Spillum goes into motion, takes the ball sweeping out to the left, tries to cut it back into the middle, and is brought down at the 24-yard line, a gain of 3 yards on the play. As Aaron Bruckmite making the tackle on the play for Eastside Catholic. Meadowdale looking to get something going here. Pronunciation, that was Brooke Mata on the last play, making the tackle for the Crusaders. Meadowdale looking to get on the board. Best chance they've had all evening. Harrison White and Donnie Evans line up to the right. Looking to set up a screen pass to Braxton, and it just never happened as Tingstead was feeling the pressure. Kept looking out to the left, very nicely guarded by the Crusaders. Tingstead finally just having to dump that ball off. Threw an incomplete pass just to get rid of it. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Mavs. 10:55 to go here, third quarter. Win or go home. Very simple here tonight. One of these teams will see their season come to an end. And unless Meadowdale can get something going very quickly, chances are the team out of Wesco might be playing their last game of the season tonight. Tingstead dropping back to pass, looking for Donnie Evans. Timing route, and Evans just never turned around in time. Ball is thrown incomplete, brings up a 4th and 8. And Brett Schaefer, the kicker, who's had himself an excellent year, comes onto the field to attempt the field goal for the first time tonight, and hopes of maybe getting the Mavericks on the board here, as Schaefer's going to line up for a 42-yard field goal. Inside the left hash. Not right in the middle of the field, but pretty darn close to it. We've seen Schaefer connect from these distances in the past. Let's see what he can do here. Snap is down, the kick is up. He has the distance. And he misses it, pushes it just to the right. And Meadowdale, after the nice kick return by Malik Braxton, is going to come away empty-handed on their first possession here in the half. Mavericks were hoping to get something going there. Started off the right way with the 57-yard return. 3 plays later and only 2 yards more. Meadowdale missing the field goal, and Harley Kirsch, the 6'4", 220-pound quarterback, brings his offense onto the field for the first time in the second half. Kirsch with 3 receivers lined up out to the right, hands it to Willington. Willington being brought down almost immediately by Garrett Walsh. Walsh breaking into the backfield and dragging Willington down for a loss of 1. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 11. Should point out that missed field goals at the high school level automatically bring the ball back to the 20-yard line, which is where the Crusaders started this drive. Another handoff to Willington. No, he's going to pass this time. Kvek making the catch on the slant play. Gets ahead to the 46-yard line, a gain of 26 yards. And another first down for the Crusaders. And we've got another injury down on the field as one of the Mavericks is slow to get up at the 25-yard line. Appears as though the Maverick that is still down on the field is C.J. Lewis. Rolls over to his back. He is moving, which is a good sign. We're going to take a quick break right now. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more third quarter action. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877 888-885-5601. Visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
And we are live again. CJ Lewis was the player injured on the play. Was able to walk off on his own. Kirsch is going to keep that one. Quarterback keeper up to the 42-yard line. Gains about 13 on that play and moves the chains one more time as Eastside Catholic into Meadowdale territory for the first time in the second half. 9:57 to go here, third quarter. Wellington takes the handoff out. No, Kirsch keeps it, runs to the left. 2 penalty markers thrown, one along the right side, one more towards the left. So we wait to see what is called there. Kirsch continuing to go with the read option. We wait to see what the call is here. There might be 2 different infractions on this play. Calling 2 holdings against Eastside Catholic, so bring that one back. You only get to take 1 of the penalties, however. Going to take Eastside Catholic, I was going to say back into their own territory. However, they're going to spot the ball almost right at the midfield line. We'll bring up a 1st and 18 for Eastside. Kirsch still has Wellington in the backfield. Wellington just lined up right off of his right shoulder. 4 receiver set. Kirsch fakes the handoff, throws it over at the 44-yard line, making the catch for Eastside Catholic is number 3, Michael Story. Story, the 5'10", 170-pound senior, with his first reception of the night. Good for 6 yards. We'll call it a 2nd and 11 for Eastside Catholic now at the 43-yard line of Meadowdale. Story and Quebec lined up out to the left. Going to throw a screen pass to Quebec. Quebec catches it at the 42, gets ahead to the 34-yard line. Close to the first down marker, might be just a couple yards short. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for Eastside Catholic, and they waste no time getting right back to the line of scrimmage. Going with the no-huddle offense. Staying in the 4 receiver set right now. Wellington remains in the backfield. Wellington's going to take the handoff, sweeping out to the right. Gets by a couple of would-be tacklers, finds a little bit of space, and before getting pushed out of bounds, picks up 9 yards and another first down for Eastside Catholic. Crusaders just continuing to move the chains. Doesn't seem to matter how far of a distance they have to go for first downs. This time, after the holding penalty, had a 1st and 18. Just picking up yards in bunches right now. So they get that much closer to a running clock here, as we mentioned before. If they get up by 40 points or more, that is where the running clock kicks in. Wellington takes the handoff. Another penalty marker thrown in the backfield as Garrett Walsh throws Wellington to the ground at the 24-yard line. 3-yard pickup before the penalty. Another holding call against Eastside Catholic. Spot foul. It appears as though they're going to say the infraction took place at the 25-yard line, which pushes it back to the 35. This looks familiar. We're going to look at another 1st and 18 for Eastside Catholic, the second time they have had a 1st and 18 on this particular drive. Kirsch looks over at his head coach, Jeremy Thielbar, for the play. Thielbar interestingly enough. Washington State University graduate, also coached as an assistant at Washington State University. Can lay claim to being a player and a coach at 2 different times for Cougar teams that went to Rose Bowls. And Thielbar will also be coaching down in San Antonio in early January. He's been named as one of the coaches at the U.S. Army All-American game, a game that showcases some of the best players in the nation, best seniors in the nation. A game that is nationally televised every year on NBC. Also tends to be a game popular in which a lot of players commit to universities during the middle of the broadcast. Play up the middle, Wellington finding some room, still going at the 20, and finally is brought down at the 15-yard line. Gain of 25 yards on the play, and picks up another Eastside Catholic first down. Eastside Catholic on the move again, all the way to the 15-yard line. This drive started at their own 20. 65 yards later, they've reached the red zone as Wellington is going to take the handoff at the 10 to the 5. Dives forward towards the goal line, just comes up a bit short. Comes down at the 1. He was that close to making his 3rd touchdown rush of the night. 14-yard pickup for the big junior. Ball is going to be spotted right at the 1-yard line as Nick Neely a little slow to get up for Meadowdale. I want to give a shout out to one of the coaches' fathers who's watching us tonight. Hopefully he's still watching. I know earlier in the game he was. Told that Jim Roberts, father of Mike Roberts, is watching the game up in Edmonds tonight. Mike asked me before the game if we were going to be broadcasting, and when I told him we were, said he was going to shoot a text out to his dad. So Jim, unfortunately not quite the game we wanted tonight, but at any rate, you have to be proud of this Middledale Maverick team and the job that Mike and the rest of the coaches have done this year. 3A South champions, you'll take that any year, right? And into the end zone is number 26. That is Dominic Fatui. Fatui with his first touchdown of the night, giving the Eastside Catholic Crusaders a 41-0 lead with 7:47 to go here in the third quarter. Juan Sashi in to kick another PAT. Kick is up, and it is good, and it is now 42-0. We're going to take a quick break. You are watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
To see how much you can save on car insurance and much more, call Jeff Smar. Jeff's office serves many areas including Linwood, Edmonds, Bothell, and Mountlake Terrace. He can be reached at 425-949-7103 or jeffsmar@allstate.com.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Seattle. You are watching the Sound Alive Sports Network, presented by Shoreline Community College. Eastside Catholic with the touchdown. Starting to sound like a broken record. Their 6th touchdown of the night. Crusaders with all 42 points thus far with 7:47 to go. And once again, number 89, Jake Stewart Steele, set to kick off. Ball falls off the turf, off the tee rather. Credit these Meadowdale fans, they have not left yet. It is a very cold night here as we are broadcasting in the stands. A lot of blankets, a lot of hats, a lot of cold people, and none of these folks seem to be in too much of a hurry to leave, supporting their congratulatory head slaps as he ran off the field. Eastside Catholic's offense coming back onto the field one more time. If you're Meadowdale at this point, you're happy to see that that clock is just running right now, as it might just be time to finish out this game and get out of here. It's pretty much inevitable right now that this will in fact be the Mavericks' final game of the season. Can't say it enough. Wesco 3A South champions, undefeated in Wesco 3A play this year. Came into this game ranked 7th in the state. It has been a successful season for Meadowdale, no matter what happens tonight. We got a timeout. We're going to take a quick break. You are watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Hey, sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the Westco Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the Westco Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the Westco Conference. Hey, sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the Westco Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the Westco Conference. Follow us on Twitter
And we are back again. Eastside Catholic on the field and ready to go. Appears as though Harley Kirsch's night has come to an end. The junior quarterback leading his team out to a 42-0 lead, and that will bring in Zach Lewis, the freshman, 6'1", 190-pound quarterback. We've seen Lewis in as a holder on point after touchdown attempts tonight. It's the first time we've seen him in at the quarterback position. Handed that last ball off to number 27, Tyler Folks, a sophomore. As Eastside Catholic, knowing that this game is well in control, appears to be ready to give some of their younger backup players more time on the field right now. And Folks carries that one off of the right tackle down to the 37-yard line. Pickup of 8 yards. Make that 9 yards and a first down as the chains move one more time. Middledale still keeping many of their seniors in the game. No doubt maybe a tribute to them, knowing that this is their final game as a Maverick. Coach Don letting them get a little more playing time. Hopes of maybe making this game a little more respectable, as well, as you never want to end your season with a shutout by any means. Still quite a bit of pride to play for here if you're a Maverick. Lewis takes the snap, gives it to Folks. Runs off of right tackle one more time, down to the 33-yard line, a gain of 4 on the play. Tyler Folks listed at 5'9", 190 pounds. This is an Eastside Catholic team that has definitely controlled many teams this year, many opponents. By no means is this the first time that they have gone up big on a team. As I try to look for some stats here on Folks. Point being that a lot of players are getting significant playing time this year for this team, being that they've been in a considerable amount of games in which players have had a chance to get in. The ball is fumbled. Braxton picks it up off the turf. He's going down the sideline. He's got one man to beat. To the 30, the 20. Touchdown, Meadowdale. Malik Braxton with the fumble recovery down the left sideline. The Mavericks will not be shut out tonight. Braxton taking that one 65 yards down the left sideline into the end zone. And Meadowdale is on the board. Looked down for a brief moment. It looked as though Folks put the ball on the turf. right in front of Braxton. He bent over, picked it up, had to break out of one tackler, but once he had some open room, he wasn't going to be caught all the way down into the end zone. And with 2:34 to go here in the third quarter, Meadowdale is ready for the PAT, and it helps to have a football on the field if you're going to try a point after touchdown, as the whistle blew and the referee had to wait for the ball boy to bring a football out there. Brett Schaefer, who missed a field goal attempt earlier, now on to attempt his first point after touchdown of the game. Ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. We're going to take a quick break. You are watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to a very chilly Memorial Stadium in Seattle. Steve Willits along with the rest of our cold crew right now. Hannah Gradwell, Evan Partin, along with Angela Camo and Teresa Whipple. 5 of us are going to start doing jumping jacks here in a few minutes just to keep warm, as we await the kickoff here at Meadowdale, getting their first points of the night on a Malik Braxton 65-yard fumble recovery for the touchdown. Point out we just got a final score from Quilceda Stadium up in Marysville-Pilchuck, where the Tomahawks have defeated the Mount Lake Terrace Hawks 49-14 this evening. Wellington takes that kickoff on the 23-yard line, gets a block out to the left, and he's got some space down the sideline, past the 50 and out of bounds at the 48-yard line. And Eastside Catholic will take over on the Meadowdale side of the field, as number 21 is a bit slow to get up. That is Paul Savchuk. Savchuk is down, and we'll take a quick break. You are watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Welcome to Northwest Best, brought to you by Smart Service Subaru. Here's your host, Mike Halsey.
We're back at the Red Onion in Mount Lake Terrace, and I'm with the owner, Sean, and the food here is absolutely terrific. The burgers are made with 100% beef, made to order with fresh ingredients. And you're involved in a lot of community projects.
Yes, Mike, we are. With the help of our loyal customers, we're able to give back to our community. Such as we take 100 kids shopping with cops and join us for our terrific Tuesday fundraisers. Join us
at Red Onion Burger. And thank you for watching.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
To see how much you can save on car insurance and much more, call Jeff Smar. Jeff's office serves many areas including Linwood, Edmonds, Bothell, and Mountlake Terrace. He can be reached at 425-949-7103 or jeffsmar@allstate.com.
And welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Seattle. You are watching the Sound Alive Sports Network, brought to you by Shoreline Community College. Paul Savchuk, not able to put much weight on one of those feet right now as he is finally up and walking off the turf. However, he is being heavily assisted right now by a couple of members of the Meadowdale training staff. Savchuk, a senior, 5'9", 170 pounds, and unfortunately, it might be the final play for him as a Meadowdale Maverick, as we are looking at a 2 minute and 9 seconds to go here in the third quarter, a game in which Meadowdale is trailing 42-7. As we mentioned earlier, this is a state playoff game. It is a loser-out game. Lose and go home. Folks running up the middle. Gets taken down by number 99, Garrett Walsh. Walsh continuing to have himself one heck of a game. I'm calling his name plenty tonight. Timothy Smith helping him out on the play as well. A gain of 1 yard, and give the Maverick players a lot of credit. They continue to play intense football here. This is their final game of the year, and they want to go out on a high note. Lewis is going to keep that one and is not going anywhere as he is taken down in the backfield. Zach Johnson, number 7, making the tackle. Penalty marker thrown right into the middle of the pile there. It appears as though it's going to go against Eastside Catholic. It will remain second down, as that is a spot foul as well. Was asked a very interesting question a minute ago, and I think we just got our answer. We were curious about the running clock. As we mentioned earlier, when a team is ahead by more than 40 points, the clock continues to run from that point forward. We were curious, though, if the team that was trailing got within 40 points again, if the clock continued to run, and the answer is yes, as the clock continues to go here, regardless to what is happening on the field, as the clock was ticking down just a moment ago while that penalty was being marked off. So once a team gets up by 40 at any given point in the second half, it is running clock from that point on. Walsh misses the initial tackle. However, Jimmy Bruders is able to wrap up Folks and keep him behind the line of scrimmage. Another penalty marker thrown into the pile. And they're going to call a face mask against Meadowdale in this play. That one's going to be marched off, and the clock now showing triple-digit zeros, which means we have come to the end of the third quarter. We're going to take a quick break here right now. 42-7, Eastside Catholic. We've got one more quarter left to play. You are watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the Westco Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and the Westco Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the Westco Conference. Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the Westco Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the Westco Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the Westco Conference.
Okay. And we are back again at Memorial Stadium. You are watching the Sound Live Sports Network, presented by Shoreline Community College. 3 quarters down, 1 to go. 12 minutes away from Eastside Catholic officially moving on to the quarterfinals as they continue to lead Meadowdale 42-7. Zach Lewis hands off to Folks. Folks not finding much room as he tries to go out to the left side. Zach Johnson, Jimmy Bruders, Timothy Smith all in on the tackle on that play. Quite a few starters still out on the field for the Mavericks. Cheer squad still going strong right down below us here. State champion cheer squad, I might add. A lot of players, or a lot of students still having a good time. Many of which have yet to sit down this evening. Really have not seen anybody get up to leave this game yet, as I think a lot of folks, knowing that it is the final time they're going to watch the Mavericks this year, are staying to support their team. Zach Johnson making the tackle on Folks at the 46-yard line. It's going to bring in 9. Was about to send Catholic on to punt for the first time tonight. However, they are keeping their offense out on the field. Lewis, number 19, continuing to play quarterback in shotgun formation. Curious to see if he ends up throwing this, or perhaps maybe he just kicks this ball down the field. That is exactly what he's going to do. Quick kicks it. Garrett Walsh almost blocked that ball. It does not go downfield very far. Bounces at the 36. Malik Braxton fields it and fumbled it. Could not come up with it. Braxton trying to catch Eastside Catholic off guard. Had the right idea, however, ball bounces off of his hands back onto the turf, and Tyler Folks, the running back, jumps on it, and he's going to give the Crusaders a new set of downs. Cannot fault Malik on that play. He had the right idea. You're down by 45. With his athleticism and quickness, why not try to make something happen for your team? If he had come up with that ball cleanly, he had nothing but open space. Braxton with his hands on his hips right now, he knows it too. Good thought, just couldn't quite execute it, and Eastside Catholic now with the ball once again, 9-12 clock, which continues to run. Another quarterback in for Eastside Catholic. Falk continues to run. Gets down to the 32-yard line where Tyler Ruby brings him down. Number 44, Cole Nassman, the sophomore, in for the first time tonight. Must confess that in all the high school football games I've called in the last 3 seasons, this is the first time I've seen a number 44 playing quarterback. That is the number that Nassman has, however. Number 4, Talon Davis in the backfield with him, getting his first action tonight. As Jeremy Thilbar, the coach of Eastside Catholic, continues to rotate players in, giving some of his younger backup players an opportunity to play here at Memorial Stadium. Ball gets snapped over Nassman's head. Very wisely jumps on it back at the 43-yard line as not to lose a possession. 10-yard loss on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 12 for the Crusaders. Nassman still in shotgun formation. Davis behind him. 2 receivers out to his left, 1 to his right. It's number 81, Brett Barrett, on the near side of the field. Crusaders very content to let that clock run down as much as they possibly can before snapping right now. Handoff goes to Davis. Davis being dragged down by a few different Maverick players. Timothy Smith and Garrett Walsh, two of the players that were in on the tackle. Gets it ahead for maybe 2 yards. Spot the ball at the 42. It's going to bring up a 4th and 11 with 7:43 to go. Side Catholic only punting one time tonight, and that was on the last drive. Punt that resulted very well for them as Malik Braxton was not able to come up with the return, trying to surprise the Crusaders. Had the ball hit off of his hand where Eastside Catholic's Tyler Fulks was able to recover it. We'll see if Nassman does a similar move as to what we saw last time, lining up in the quarterback position. Potentially a quick kick coming from the Crusaders. And they're going to let the clock run all the way out and take the delay of game penalty. It's a 5-yard penalty. As Eastside Catholic, somewhat strategically, but also I think not wanting to run up the score, they are letting as much time elapse from that clock as possible right now before they decide that they're going to kick the ball as the running clock continues. 6:05 to go in the game. And number 17, Matt Kavek coming in to punt. His first kick. Braxton's going to take it at the 13-yard line, fields it, breaks out of one tackler, gets around to the right, gets some space to the 30. He's still on his feet, cuts it back to the 45. Malik Braxton all the way, 87 yards. Touchdown, Mavericks. This might be the final game of his high school career, but number 5 going out in style. Malik doing what he does best, getting into open space and creating big plays. Nice play by Braxton as he travels 87 yards down the field. 42-13, Meadowdale making this game a little bit more respectable now with 5:33 showing on the clock. Brett Schaefer on to kick his second PAT of the game. Tingstead into hold. Finally get the snap. Schaefer with the kick. It is up, and it is good. We're going to take a quick break. 42-14, you are watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjackson.com.
And we are back again, 5:33 to go. Malik Braxton making the score a little bit more interesting with 2 big touchdowns here in the second half. A 65-yard fumble recovery in the third quarter. Followed that one up with an 87-yard punt return. Taking it to the house for the second time in the half. We get a penalty. Schaefer chipped that one down to the 25-yard line. Gonna blow that one dead. I have a feeling that Meadowdale might have gone past the line of scrimmage before Schaefer kicked the ball. Running clock continues to unwind. We are now under the 5-minute mark. This is the exact same score that Eastside Catholic beat Arlington by last week. I'm sure that is a pattern that Eastside Catholic would gladly take heading into the remainder of the playoffs. Not seen a score lately from the O'Day-Lincoln game. We'll try to get one of those before we head off the air as well. Remind you that Eastside Catholic will be taking on the winner of that game next week. Time, date, and location to be determined. Wellington back to take the kickoff. Ball is out of bounds, which means we will be re-kicking that one more time. Take that penalty, which means they'll have the ball first and 10 at the 40. Just told that Lincoln is ahead of O'Day 35-31 in the fourth quarter. Great game taking place down there in Tacoma tonight. The loser of that game will see their season come to an end. The winner will take on Eastside Catholic next week. We will continue to monitor that game and perhaps score before our game is over. No promises as we're down to 3:16 right now in this game. It's certainly a game that if you are an Eastside Catholic Crusader fan, you will want to continue to follow the progress of that game and see who your next opponent is next week. Either way, it's going to be a very tough team. This school already knows what O'Day can do, and obviously if Lincoln is playing that tough against O'Day, and if they can in fact come away with a victory, you know you're not going to get an easy opponent in the Abes either. That is a Lincoln team that is coached by John Kitna, former Seattle Seahawks quarterback, coaching down at his alma mater. .232 and counting right now. 2nd and 5 at the 45-yard line. Nassman, the sophomore quarterback, continues to let as much time elapse on that clock before snapping it. Every play, looking over to the sideline, as coaches at this point I think are letting him know when they want to take the snap, trying to run as few of plays as possible. Going to keep everybody healthy at this point and keep everybody standing upright before the next game. Davis barreling up the middle to the 43-yard line of Meadowdale. 12-yard gain, and he moves the chains one more time for Eastside Catholic. First down. Mentioned that we will not be having a post game tonight. We'll not be doing our Red Onion Burger Player of the Game. We do thank Red Onion for all of their support all season long, providing us with nifty t-shirts and creating a lot of fun memories for some of these players all season. If players that we've been naming to our game list at the conclusion of almost all of our games this year. .1:15 showing on the clock. Eastside Catholic not going to snap this ball before they have to. This might even be a knee formation. It is. Nassman takes the snap, throws it back to the referee. We'll probably have to do that one more time before we wrap this thing up. So again, if you are a Middledale Maverick fan, you should be proud of this team. They are going to finish their season off with 8 wins and 3 losses on the year. Conference division champions, making it to the playoff round for the 3rd straight year against Eastside Catholic. team that went to the state finals the last 2 years, and they might be on their way again this year the way they're playing. Nothing to hold your head down about at all if you are a Maverick fan. And Meadowdale finally calls a timeout with 25 seconds to go, as it looks as though Mike Don wants to get a few more players into the game before it's all said and done. A nice moment on the field right now is Garrett Walsh, Timothy Smith, Malik Braxton, Stephen Buonto all coming out for the final time and getting a nice round of applause by the fans here as they come off. These young gentlemen have had themselves a heck of a career at Meadowdale, and they deserve the applause they're getting right now. Nick Neely also coming off, Caleb Tingstead. It's a rough night for them right now as they look up at that scoreboard, but 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road, they will not think back to their high school careers in terms of what happened here tonight. They will look at the big picture and realize that they have had very special careers and had a lot of big games at Meadowdale, won a few very not only big games, but conference championships and other things, and made the playoffs. And certainly these young men with bigger things to come in their life as they move forward in their high school careers and on to other things. Clock now shows triple-digit zeros. The game is over. Our final score from Memorial Stadium in Seattle, Eastside Catholic 42, Meadowdale 14. Eastside Catholic moving on to the next round, the quarterfinals, where, as we mentioned before, they will take on either Lincoln or O'Day. Meadowdale season ends here tonight, second year in a row in which it's ended at Memorial Stadium. And at this time, I think we are ready to sign off. We'll get on out of here. Everybody seems to be rather joyous over that announcement, as we are very chilly up here in the stands, but we are going to say adios. I'd like to thank everybody again involved with the broadcast tonight. Evan Parton from Mount Lake Terrace High School and Hannah Gradwell from Edmonds Woodway High School, both doing a fantastic job with us up here, helping to run the production side of things. Angelo Camo from HBN, making everything happen, the producer. And Teresa Whipple, our community partner, who runs myedmondsnews.com, linwoodtoday.com, and mltnews.com. For all four of them and myself, I am Steve Willits. We thank you for watching all season long. It's been a lot of fun. And again, congratulations to the Meadowdale Mavericks on a fantastic season, a very successful season. 8 wins, Wesco 3A South champs. Hold your head up high, guys. You've had a lot to be proud of this year. We sign off for now. Have a good night.